Hi, welcome to Dirty Moms Yoga. I am Molly. We have been doing a lot of meditations in the past few classes, and we are back to doing some more physical movement practice today. We just had Spring Equinox yesterday, and so this class is going to be focusing on seeding our roots and growing from those roots. So I have a little poem that I'm going to read in the beginning, and I'm going to repeat it at the end, and I want you to just feel how it resonates with you or for you. It may not, and that's okay. So what we are going to need today is just a small space. Obviously, I'm sitting on a bolster. And the best way to know whether you need height underneath your pelvis on any seated poses, or if your knees are above your hip bones, or if you have a really accentuated roundness in your spine, adding that height can help you find that length and open up that front body. I have a blanket nearby. I like to use that for Shavasana at the end of class. And then I do have some blocks that we can also use. So if you have issues reaching the floor, this brings the floor up to you. So it can help with those poses to make them feel a little bit more comfortable. Now, if you did watch my past video, you will know that I am pregnant and that we are going to start adding some guest yogis in to help me out. So today's class, I didn't have anybody. I didn't ask anybody. And so classes are probably, when it's just me, going to be just a little slower, and I probably will start using props a little bit more as I progress with the pregnancy. And so this could be really, really beneficial for beginners as well. Now, I am not saying that this is a prenatal class. If you are pregnant, please talk to your healthcare provider prior to starting any yoga practice. Listen to your body, okay? But this is not a prenatal class. I highly recommend that you find one, or if you are an experienced yogi, you do some research, because there are some ways that you can alter some of the poses to make them benefit for you, okay? So with that, let's begin. So find yourself in a nice, comfortable seated position. Close your eyes if that's comfortable for you. Feel length out of your spine, and right away think about feeling the rootedness, the groundness into the pelvis and anything that's touching the floor. Take a moment and just feel that sensation. Feel the energy from the earth come up into your body. Allow that energy to cycle and flow through your spine, allowing it to come up through the skull and out the crown of your head to grow and expand to the skies above. Take a few breaths, allow them to come naturally, and just feel this rootedness. Think about the idea of rooting our seeds to grow, what that means for you. I'm going to read this poem to you. It may not resonate with you, and that is fine. But if it does, I invite you to think about this poem, or think about what stands out to you and for you throughout class today. This is from foreverconscious.com, and I will post this in the body of the video below. Check that out later. Under the layers of feelings, I find the root and the seed. I realize my feeling was not what it originally seemed. I sit and listen for a while. It's like it passes through. The feeling leaves my body, and now I know my truth. I'll read it one more time. Under the layers of feelings, I find the root and the seed. I realize my feeling was not what it originally seemed. I sit and listen for a while. It's like it passes through. The feeling leaves my body, and now I know my truth. Connect back with your breath. Take a big, deep belly breath in, expanding the abdominal muscles. And fully exhale, open mouth, let it all go. Do that 2 more times. Inhale fully into the abdominals. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. One more time. Inhale, feel the rise of the stomach. Exhale, feel the navel fall to the spine. Allow the breath to come natural. And slowly invite light into your eyes by gently blinking them open. Feel free to remain on your prop if you'd like, or you can move it out of the way. Reach out the right leg long in front of you. Engage the kneecap by lifting it up and drawing the toes back towards your nose. Left foot is either out to the side, or if you are able to, you can lightly and gently press that sole of the foot into the inner thigh, just never on the knee. Inhale, find length out of the spine. Exhale and forward fold over that right leg. Feeling the length out of the spine still. Lengthen the front body, Shavasana, head to knee pose. Take a deep breath in. Exhale and feel every part of the body that is touching the earth, seeding your roots. With every inhale and exhale, send that energy into those areas that might be tight in the back of the right leg or in the hips. And gently draw the shoulders away from your ears. One more deep breath in. And exhale. Gently walk yourself back up and switch legs. Left leg comes out long in front of you. Right foot can either come out to the side, or the sole of the right foot can gently press into the inner thigh of the left leg. Inhale, feel length out of your spine, and exhale, forward fold, Shavasana. Again, feel all those parts of the body touching the earth. Feel the energy come rising up. Feel length in the front body, and relax those shoulders away from your ears. Deep breath in. Exhale, see if you can go a little bit deeper. One more inhale. And exhale. Inhale and slowly walk yourself back up. Place both soles of the feet on the floor, about hip width distance apart. And the hands are going to step just behind the shoulders. We're going to go into reverse table. From here, firmly press the hands evenly into the earth. The soles of the feet are pressing evenly into the earth. Push into those feet and hands and lift up the pelvis, opening the chest up to the sky. Find yourself in reverse table. Now, if you need to adjust, feel free to do so. Those knees should not be over your toes. Inhale and exhale, lower that pelvis down. We're going to do this dynamically. So inhale, lift on up, push into those feet and hands. Feel the stretch in the front of the chest. Look on up. Exhale, calm on down. Inhale, press in and up. Exhale, relax on down. One more time. Inhale and up. Let's hold it here. Draw that navel in and up towards the spine. Really lift the pubic bone up towards the sky and hug those inner thighs together. One more inhale. Exhale and slowly lower yourself down. Allow the feet to come as wide as your mat, and then just rock those knees back and forth, opening up that low spine, feeling the movement in the hips. Go ahead and swing those legs around. Come into tabletop position. Knees are underneath the pelvis. Hands are right underneath the shoulders. Draw that navel in and up. Press into those hands and the tops of the feet. Drop the core to the floor and look up for cow. Exhale, round that spine. Feel the opening between the shoulder blades. Cat. Inhale, look up. And exhale, curl on in. Take a few rounds of this if one feels really good and you want to hang out here a little bit longer. I know in cow, since my abdominals are shortening, it feels good to look up a little longer. Maybe you're tight between your shoulder blades and you want to hang out in cat just for a couple breaths. Do what feels good for you. Explore the movement, opening up the spine. Come back to a neutral position, and I'm going to show you a little tip, a little tool to use to find your downward facing dog. Come up onto those fingertips, put the heel of the palm down where they are, and then spread your fingers long. Same thing on the other hand. Come up on those fingertips, place the palm down, and then spread them long. Tuck those toes under, hover the knees, draw that navel in and up, and push into those hands to come into downward facing dog. Now, if you are very short in your hamstrings or you feel roundedness in your spine, grab those blocks and place them underneath your hands. This should allow you to continue bending deeply into those knees while feeling the length out of the spine. Firmly press down into the thumb and first finger. And take a walk, dropping one heel down at a time, opening up the calves, warming up the ankles. Allow the head to fall long. Come back to the center position. Come up high on those toes and then bring them down like you're squeezing an orange between your heel and the floor. Feel free to continue bending those knees if you need to. Again, come up high on those toes, and one more time, squeeze those heels down. Come up high on those toes, look between your hands, and walk your feet to your hands for a forward fold. You can keep those blocks there if you need to. You can add different height positions as well. Allow the head to fall long. Bend those knees if you need to. And allow gravity just to open up the back body. You can sway back and forth. This one just feels really good. Uttanasana, forward fold. Bend deeply into those knees, sit the pelvis back. Slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time with the head coming up last. Roll the shoulders up, back and down. Open up the palms to the front of your mat for Tadasana, mountain pose. Check back in, rooting your seats. Feel the energy come up out of the earth. It's our first standing pose. How does your body feel? Do you feel the energy coming up and out? Shake it out. Move those blocks out of the way. If you need to, if you have a balance is an issue for you, I recommend either going next to a wall or bring a chair nearby or stand next to your couch. We're just going to open up the hips a little bit by doing a couple circles, feeling the lubrication in the joints. Go a few times one way and then reverse to the other way. As you're doing this, the standing leg, really feel those roots growing down. It's going to come in handy later. As that feels good, swing whatever feels good for you. You can swing that leg back and forth. Just really lubricate and open up that joint. When you're ready, go ahead and switch sides. Really ground down in that opposite leg, that standing leg. Hip circles, go one way a couple times. Really feel how mobile that hip joint can be for you. When you're ready, go ahead and reverse that, go to the other way. This one pops for me. Years of dancing and forcing turnout. When that feels good and lubricated, just play around. See what that hip can do. You can swing it back and forth. You can internal rotation, external rotation. See what feels good. Just open that up. Shake it out. You can keep those blocks nearby. If you'd like, if you are somebody who does need blocks, I recommend putting them on the left side of your mat for right now. That'll come in handy later. Come to the top of your mat, find your mountain pose again. Feet are hip width distance apart, toes are parallel. Light, gentle lift in the pubic bone, draw that navel in and up. Open up the collarbones by bringing the palms of your hands to face the front of your mat. Chin is parallel to the floor and feel the energy come out the crown of your head. Take a moment, take a deep breath in, and feel the power of this pose. Feel the energy come up through the earth, out the crown of your head, out the fingertips, spread against the shoulders and the chest. Inhale, arms come up overhead, upward salute. Exhale, forward fold. Bend those knees if you need to, and I should let you know that you can use those blocks underneath your hands here. Keep your feet where they are. I just need to open up my stance a little bit to accommodate my growing belly. Allow everything to fall down. Inhale, come half up. Find your flat back. Press into those blocks or those shins, drawing the shoulder blades together. Inhale, exhale, forward fold. Plant those hands, step your right foot back, and then your left foot for a high plank. You can flow through your vinyasa if you like. You can even drop those knees down, or for myself, I'm going to drop those knees. I'm going to inhale. I'm going to look up for cow, and I'm going to exhale for cat. Variations for vinyasa. From there, tuck those toes. Use your hand trick if you need to for your downward facing dog. Place blocks underneath those hands if it's necessary. Don't be afraid to use props. Props are our friends. Really lift that sacrum to the sky. Draw those heels down. Bend those knees if your hamstrings are tight. Deep breath in. Exhale, I'm going to push into those hands. Inhale the right leg high. Exhale, draw the knee to the nose. Step the foot between your hands. Stay low into a runner's lunge. Take a glance down. Rotate that back foot down so the toes are pointing towards the long edge of the left side of your mat. Slowly come on up. We're going to go into Warrior Two. Check down in with your feet. Make sure this knee is not going over your toes. Feel your shoulders overline your pelvis. Reach those arms out alongside of you and look over that right fingers. Really engage the left kneecap by lifting it up and hug those inner thighs together. Once you feel stable in your base, you're going to inhale, press into the front feet, reach those arms up high, keeping the shoulders away from your ears. Exhale and come on down. Moving back and forth, inhale high, exhale, come down. Checking in with those knees, that right knee specifically, making sure it does not go over those toes. Reaching up, feel growing out of those fingertips, and then rooting down. One more, inhale, and exhale. Let's stay in Warrior Two, Virabhadrasana 2. Gentle squeeze in those shoulder blades, melt those shoulders away from your ears. And smile. It's fun. I hope you're having fun. Inhale, press into that foot, bring your hands to your waist. Turn those right toes in. I have to adjust your base a little bit. So they're parallel, nice wide legs. Inhale, feel length out of your spine. Exhale, forward fold. Here's those blocks that might come in handy for you. Pasarita Padottanasana, wide-legged forward fold.
Toes are parallel to each other, facing the long edge of the left side of your mat. Use those blocks if you need to go as far down as is comfortable. Really squeeze those inner thighs together, lift those kneecaps up. Feel the openness in the back of the hamstrings, the back of the calves. Allow the head to hang long. Shake it. Yes, I can do this. Inhale, come half up. Exhale and heel toe those feet together to hip width distance apart. You can bring those pops to the front of your mat if you'd like. Bend those knees and slowly roll up. Step onto the front of your mat. And again, if you would like to set yourself up to a wall or a chair, here's where it's going to come in handy. Really ground down into the left leg, feeling all points of the foot into the earth. Test your balance by lifting the right foot off the mat. If you need a little kickstand, feel free to allow the toes to stay on the earth. Lift up just like we did in Tadasana or mountain pose. Hands can come into the heart center. If that's comfortable for you, bring the foot to your calf. Test your balance. Your gaze or your drishti, if you find a focal point, can help with that balance. So find a spot in front of you and just stare. Just have a staring contest. If that is comfortable, you can take your foot and place it into the inner thigh, not on the knee, but in the inner thigh. Press the inner thigh and the sole of the foot together. This is tree pose. Now your arms, you have options. You can stay here in the heart center. If you want to help with balance a little bit, you can come out to the side. Maybe if you're testing on a chair or wall, you can practice this to keep challenging yourself. If you're feeling a little brave, reach those arms up overhead. Interlace those fingers and feel the energy coming out of the earth, up your body, and out those fingers. Keep that gaze, that drishti. Feel the seeds to root to grow. Take one more deep breath in. Exhale, slowly let go of the foot. Come back into Tadasana. How did you do? Let's try the other side. Inhale, upward salute. Exhale, forward fold. Use those blocks underneath those hands if necessary. Keep those feet hip width distance apart. I'm just going to go a little wider to accommodate myself. Let the head feel long and heavy. Inhale, press into those blocks or those shins. Come up into flat back. Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. Plant those hands, step the left foot back and then the right foot for a nice high plank. As you see, I still have my blocks. Drop those knees down or flow through your vinyasa of your choice. Inhale, look up. Exhale, cat, if that is your option. Tuck those toes and push yourself into downward facing dog. Your hamstrings should be starting to open up just a little bit more. Maybe your heels can reach the floor a little bit closer. Firmly press into those hands, really focusing on the thumb and the first finger. That will help protect your wrists. Inhale the left leg high. Exhale, draw the knee to your nose. Step the left foot between your hands. Find that high runner's lunge. Drop the right heel down, angling those toes to the long edge of the right side of your mat. Slowly walk yourself up. Come into Warrior Two, Virabhadrasana 2. Shoulders are over top of your pelvis. Reach those hands out long. Take a glance down. Make sure those left knees are not over your toes. Really hug those inner thighs in and up. Gently squeeze those shoulder blades together and melt them away from your ears. Feel the groundedness between both your feet. Press into the earth, straighten the left leg and reach those arms up high. Exhale and come back down. Inhale, look up. Exhale, come down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, down. Feeling
the lubrication into the joints. The energy of the earth coming up and out those fingertips. Let's do one more. Inhale up, exhale down. Find your Virabhadrasana 2, looking over those left fingertips. Inhale, press into the left leg, straighten that left leg, bring those toes in so they're parallel to the long edge of the right side of your mat. Use those blocks if you need to. Feel length out of your spine, tilt that pelvis back, hinge at the hips, and slowly come on down, Pasarita Padottanasana, wide-legged forward fold. Allow the head to fall long. Continue to feel the inner lift of those inner thighs. Press firmly down into the knife edge of your feet. Inhale, come half up. Heel toe those feet together to hip width distance apart. Bend those knees, drop that head, and slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time. Bring those props to the front of your mat if you'd like. Come back to the front of your mat. And we're going to do tree pose on the other leg. I did tell you it was tree pose, right? Hope I didn't forget that. Right leg, ground that leg down. Foot is parallel. Really lift up out of that kneecap. Feel the strength out of that right leg. Test your balance. You can start with a little kickstand, keeping those toes on the ground. You can bring those hands to heart center. Feel that power just like you did in mountain pose or Tadasana. If you're feeling good on this balance, maybe bring that foot, those toes to the calf. If you're feeling really good, you could take that foot into the inner thigh of the right leg, pressing the right inner thigh into the left foot and the left foot into the inner thigh. Feel the energy come up out of the earth, up through your spine, cycling through out to the top of the head. You can keep your hands at the heart center. If your balance is feeling good, or maybe you need a little extra, you can bring them out to the side. You can really do whatever you'd like. If you're feeling really good, reach those arms up long, up high overhead, reaching the fingertips up. Find your gaze or your drishti. Find that focal point and have a stare down. Tree pose. This is now my son's favorite and my husband's favorite. Allow the shoulders to melt away from the ears. Feel the opposition, the groundingness into that right foot and the reach of the energy out the fingertips. Take one more deep breath in. Exhale and slowly lower down. Find yourself into mountain pose. Blah. Inhale, upward salute. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come half up, speeding up just a little bit. Exhale, forward fold. Plant those hands, step the right foot back and then the left foot. Flow through your vinyasa, or if you're following me, inhale, come up to cow. Exhale into cat. Find your little tip for your downward facing dog. Tuck those toes. Come on out. Downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Shavasana. Draw those heels down to the earth while lifting the sacrum up to the sky. Inhale the right leg high. Exhale, draw the knee to the nose. Step the foot between your hands. Drop the heel down. Inhale, arms up overhead. Find your warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. Check in with your knee. Make sure it's not over your toes. Shoulders over your pelvis. Arms reaching out long. Your gaze or your drishti over the right fingers. Now you have an option if you'd like to continue in the dynamic. Feel free to do so. Otherwise, you're feeling nice and lubricated in your joints. You're feeling strong. Really engage those inner thighs together and hold it here for a couple breaths.
press into that right thigh or into the right foot. Bring those toes in. Adjust yourself if need to. Bring those props around if necessary. Inhale, feel length out of the spine. Exhale, hinge at those hips and forward fold down, Pasarita Padottanasana. Allow the head to fall long. Feel the inner lift of those thighs. Kneecaps are lifting up and the groundiness into those feet. Inhale, calm half up. Heel toe those feet to hip width distance apart. Bend those knees and slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time and then step to the front of your mat. Ground down into that left leg. Feel that strength. Test your balance. And when you feel you're ready, challenge yourself a little further this time. If you'd like to do full expression of the pose, go ahead and bring that foot up into the inner thigh, never the knee, and reach those hands up overhead. Really ground down firmly into that left foot, feeling all points of that foot into the earth. Stare down, find that drishti. One more big deep breath in. Exhale and slowly release down. Find your mountain pose. Inhale, upward salute. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come half up. Exhale, forward fold. Plant those hands, step the left foot back, then the right foot for a high plank. Flow through your vinyasa or drop those knees and go into cat-cow. Looking up on an inhale. Exhale, cat. Downward facing dog. Use that trick with your hands if necessary. Push yourself back. Really ground down in the thumb and the first finger. Reach those heels down. Lift the sacrum high. Inhale the left leg high. Exhale and draw the knee to your nose. Step the left foot between your hands. Drop the right heel down. Work your way up to warrior two. Check in with that left knee. Shoulders over your pelvis. Lifting up the right kneecap and hugging those inner thighs together. Gently squeeze those shoulder blades together and melt them away from your ears. Gaze over those left fingers. An option, if you'd like to continue with the dynamic, feel free to do so. Or if you're feeling good, you can always stay in a static pose of warrior two. Inhale, press into the left foot. Bring those toes in. Find yourself in a wide-legged forward fold. Inhale, feel length out of the spine. Hinge at those hips and slowly forward fold over. Pasarita Padottanasana. Wide-legged forward fold. Use those blocks if you need to. Whichever height that you might need to. Really ground down on the outside knife edge of the foot, feeling the lift in the inner portion of your thighs. Inhale, come half up. Exhale and heel toe those feet together, bend in those knees and slowly roll up one vertebrae at a time. Find yourself at the front of your mat. Ground down in the right leg. Really seed those roots. Feel the roots growing into the ground on that right foot. All points of the foot are connected to the earth and feeling even on those roots. Test out your balance and challenge yourself this round. Maybe you come up a next level of your balance. Maybe you're testing yourself off that wall or that chair. If you feel like you're ready, And come to the full expression, pressing the left sole of the foot into the inner thigh of the right leg, never on your knee. Always going to repeat that. Hands can come up overhead and really feel that stare down. Oh, I'm going over. Sometimes it happens. It's how we learn and challenge ourselves. Come on, body. There we go. We got this. Yes, we can do this. Feel the energy out of the earth coming up into our bodies, reaching up to the skies above, tree pose. One more deep breath in. Exhale and slowly come on out. Find your mountain pose. Inhale, upward salute. Exhale, forward fold. Last one. Inhale, come half up. Exhale, plant those hands, set the right foot back, step the left foot back, and go ahead and bring those knees down, bring them wide. Big toes are touching together. Sit the pelvis back. Arms are out long for child's pose. Allow the body to relax. If you aren't able to really relax that chest to the ground, an option is to bring a bolster, a pillow, or a blanket. And you can always lay over top of this. Slowly walk yourself back up. Sit on down and slowly lower yourself down to your mat. We're going to go into Supine Dandasana, Supine Staff Pose. Hands are gently pressing into the earth, and then reach those legs up one at a time. Flex those toes back. It's like you're standing on the sky. You could always do this against a wall and have it more relaxing or restorative, legs up the wall. Allowing the blood to come down from our feet back into our bodies. If you need to bend your knees, that's fine. If it's more comfortable to rest your legs on a chair or couch, feel free to do so. Hug those knees to your chest. I'm going wide. You can also have that option as well. Circle those ankles one way and then the other. Allow them to loosen up. Allow those knees to fall over to the left for a gentle twist. You could bring your arms out to a T position, moving anything out of your way. Slowly bring those knees back up and allow them to fall over towards the right. Bring your knees back to the center. One more hug in, Uttanasana. And then uncurl yourself. Prepare for Shavasana. If you'd like to put on a sweater or you like to drape a blanket over top of you, I recommend to do that as you're laying down. If you'd like to use that prop to put it underneath your knees, you can do so as well. That's also an option. It'll allow your low spine to come in a more neutral position. Find what comfort you can. Lay on back. Allow the legs just to naturally fall open, palms face up, and just feel the energy of the earth. Allow your body just to melt down. Breath comes naturally. This is one of the best, most beneficial poses in yoga, Shavasana or corpse pose. Honoring rest, honoring our bodies after all the work we ask it to do. Feel everything just melt down. Feel the sensations in your body. I am not allowed to do Shavasana, so I am going to sit in my Shavasana. You continue to stay there. I'm going to read you this poem again. So just take a couple deep breaths in. Allow everything just to feel calm and natural. And just melt. Feel yourself melt. Touching back into this poem. Take a moment and see if it resonates differently with you. Maybe something came up during class. Maybe it didn't. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Under the layers of feelings, I find the root and the seed. I realize my feeling was not what it originally seemed. I sit and listen for a while. It's like it passes through the feeling, leaves my body, and now I know my truth. I sit and listen for a while. It's like it passes through. The feeling leaves my body, and now I know my truth. How does that resonate with you? Slowly allow subtle movements to come back to your body. Wiggle those fingers, wiggle those toes, roll the ankles and the wrists. Walk those feet back towards your pelvis and hug those knees in one more time. Roll over to one side or another into a nice fetal position. Surrender to the earth. With the strength of your top hand, push yourself up halfway. Bottom hand helps you push up the rest of the way. Find yourself in a nice, comfortable seated position. Find height if you need to. Allow the palms to gently touch right at the heart center, feeling the energy between those hands. Take another big, deep breath in. Feel that energy. Exhale and let anything go. Thank you so much for joining in today. I'm so happy to be able to bring physical practice back. I encourage you to look back at some old videos with those meditations. They are just as important as the physical practice. The light in me honors the light in you. And with that, I say namaste. I hope you enjoyed class today. It surely is fun for me. I can't wait to be able to start showing some more yogis to come in and showing you some other variations out there within some of these poses as well that I can help you with. If there's anything that you would like to see, please do not hesitate to ask. As always, make sure you subscribe, hit that bell icon. It'll give you notifications when new videos are posted. And share away. We were having a lot of fun at Dirty Moms Yoga. Thank you so much for joining in.